Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy, Manameo, back at it again with another video. So today guys, we're gonna be talking about some beginner-friendly cloud mix-ups. So let's get right into it, shall we? Alrighty, so first off, I do gotta get a brief rundown on Cloud's neutral. It's very simple, nothing too crazy. Cloud is a really good sword character who's super fast, has a ton of safe buttons, and has a ton of range. He's a very flexible character, only requiring basic fundamentals, but let's just be real, I'm gonna say my own personal opinions here. This character is super good, super cheesy, and super broken. So, let's talk about neutral. A lot of Cloud's basic neutral is gonna be a lot of reverse bears. And forward airs at various ranges. For example, here is like a fully spaced forward air, for example. Key thing here, guys, spacer moves properly. I want to see you spacing this shit, like, fast fall it, not like that. That's what most people do, but like at max fucking range. I want to see it at max range. It's easier to show with forward air, but I want to see it like that. Max range, because what could happen is if you do it like right here, they could just shield grab you if it hits their shield. So to avoid shield grabs, I want you to max space your move, just to prevent like any confusion. Some tips I would say, especially with forward air, is you want to drift a little bit back like this. When you jump forward with the left stick, you want to immediately put the control stick to the right as you're airborne to kind of make the spacing easier. So you can get a fully spaced forward air. Because forward air has a lot of range, and I know some Cloud players kind of struggle on how to properly position it. So that's a good general piece of advice. But anyways, a lot of your neutrals just back air, forward air. You know, getting your bread and butter. Some examples would be back air into cross slash. One of my favorite ones is forward air into down tilt. The up air can be true if it's spaced at max range, but kind of inconsistent, depends on you. Down tilt will always go into up air, by the way. Either or though, those are just basic neutral, right? Let's talk about mix-ups. So let's talk about a couple of the default mix-ups that you might have seen in a couple of videos of players trying to teach you fundamentals. You know, you got your tomahawk grab, you know, the basic tomahawk grab. Maybe someone told you, oh, you should do tomahawk jab or something like that. We'll get into a better mix-up than tomahawk jab. But those are like basic stuff, right? These timings are good, but sometimes they can be a little predictable in my opinion. I would say tomahawk grab is usually really good when they're in ledge trapping. Let's say Toon Link did a neutral get up on ledge and he immediately procs shield. Then we could just do this, throw him off the level. If at late percent, of course. You know, some basic stuff. People tend to shield more in the corner, so you could get a lot more grabs out of the corner. Most Cloud players don't grab. You need to grab. Mainly for positioning. Throwing them off the level and just letting them forcing them into a ledge trap situation helps a ton in Cloud's ledge trapping, because one of his strengths against most characters is ledge trapping. Some characters you can edge guard, but most of the time ledge trapping is more consistent, but it depends by case-in-case scenario and how confident you are in your ledge trapping. Alright. Those are the basic mix-ups that you've probably heard millions of times, I'm sure. Let's talk about some Cloud-specific stuff. Okay. So, first off, my favorite one is Tomahawk Cross Slash. Let's talk about it. So, instead of doing a Tomahawk grab, or like a Tomahawk grab, what you're gonna do is you're gonna Tomahawk, and then immediately go for a cross slash. Now, the reason this is good is because you could slightly delay your cross slash. You wait for them, if they're already in a shield position, you could kind of wait for them to drop shield, then hit the cross slash. And even if they shield that cross slash, you still have like the mix-up potential, where you could just like grab. This one's pretty predictable, the 1-2 into the grab. A lot of players know how to avoid this. Sometimes they'll roll away, or roll like this in front of you. That's perfectly normal. If you want to catch someone like rolling, you could just like cross slash over here, try to catch them, stuff like that. So tomahawk cross slashing, you could also slightly delay your cross slash like that. Just some basic counters. If they try to drop shield, you could just go with like that, a delayed cross slash. Pretty easy stuff. Tomahawk cross slash is a lot better than tomahawk grab, for example. Reason why is A, jabs are less safe in general, but it's more so that cross slash just has more mix-up potential, even if it whiffs or gets shielded, because you have multiple like RPS scenarios that you can play around with. So personally, I think it's better. You could still go with a tomahawk grab as like a limited use mix-up. You know, use all your moves. You know, even Cloud in general has a lot of great moves, so you should be fine. Alright, so that was the basic one. Tomahawk cross slash is super amazing. Really good mix-up, honestly. Alrighty, next up we're gonna talk about mixing up your aerial timings. Now, besides doing just generalized mix-ups, you kinda wanna mix up your aerial timings. You know, sometimes it gets a little predictable if you're just short hopping away and just forward airing like this with a rising aerial, right? I see a lot of Cloud players doing this, you know, the basic stuff, and that's all fine, right? But when someone good enough is able to just say, oh, you're just swinging at me at the same timings, I'm just gonna catch you with an air, you know, that's just the basic start. They catch the area you're jumping. So the mix-ups I would do mainly is some basic ones. First, start full hopping a little bit. Maybe like full hop and like kind of drift around, empty hop, you know, maybe just jump and do nothing, right? Or what you could do is start playing more reactive, right? Let's say he's trying to read my jump here, right? And I'm just like empty hopping, and I see him trying to catch my jump. If he does it again, you can just hit him with a back air or maybe a nair or forward air to react to him jumping preemptively, right? Those are some basic things you could do. Just kind of mixing up your timings goes a super long way with this character. All in all, like, sometimes you could do this where you try to hit your bear like super low like that. Because if you do a bear normally like this, it's like covering high, right? If you're doing the rising version of it. So sometimes it's better to just delay it until it gets to the lowest point, like right here. Right about there would be the lowest point. You want to do that especially against lightweight characters or small characters like Pichu, Pikachu, you know, those type of characters, because sometimes a lot of Cloud players like to complain saying it's hard to hit. It's not really hard to hit because you got this fucker of a move called forward air. This move's like amazing. Love this move. You know, so all in all, those are some quick ideas, right? Cool recovery mix-ups. Let's talk about recovery mix-ups. So something about recovery. Recovery is very important as Cloud, because his up B is kind of sucky. As a move on its own, it's a really great out of shield option. This thing punishes most characters in this game. If the move is -7 or higher, you can up B out of shield every time. So always remember, Cloud has one of the best out of shield games in this game. His up B is super amazing. Should be able to punish 90% of moves. His up smash out of shield can be a great out of shield option. It comes out frame 12. Something you can do. But either or, back to what I was saying, up B kind of sucks, right? Obviously you have limit, right? Where limit can give you a little bit of extra credit. It moves you a little bit further. You know, it gives you a lot more freedom and mobility. But sometimes you don't have limit all the time, right? So let's talk about some recovery mix-ups. First, cross slash can delay your momentum. This move actively delays your aerial, like your aerial's drift, which is super good. Blade beam kind of does the exact same thing. So that's awesome too, but it's not as good. I usually recommend cross slash. Blade beam can work as a delay option, but it's a little bit less, it's less of a commitment, but it's a little bit less drift, or like mobility stalling. Let's talk about up B options. You could up B up here, and it'll snap to ledge. If it's above the ledge, you could up B. This is really good in certain matchups because characters are forced to respect the up B. Now, most characters can contest this. For example, if I was fighting a Korin, they could actually pin me while I'm doing this up B trick. So it's not very consistent, but it does work. So keep that in mind. It is matchup by matchup basis. Next up, we're going to talk about the Cloud ledge snap with up B. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to up B and then immediately jerk the control stick to the left. to snap to ledge, or whatever direction the ledge is at, right? So for me, that would be the left. So it'd be immediately up left or whatever when you're near the ledge, and it automatically snaps. This is really good for like ledge jumps and stuff. So if you're like, oh, I'm just gonna ledge jump you, you can go for it. It's super easy, consistent. It's also really good if you're trying to recover high, because like if I'm here and I want to recover high, that would leave me susceptible, right? So I would just immediately snap ledge as a mix-up. So instead of doing this, for example, where it looks like I'm going for the upbeat trick, I could just snap to ledge and then force them to whiff and move. Instead of getting hit like that, you could just go for that. Another universal mix-up Cloud has when recovering is jump upwards directional air dodge. This option is super good. Super good option. It beats out a lot of the timings that that characters have to like just down air his recovery or hit him with a 2-frame. It basically avoids most 2 frames, but you could still get punished for it, and if you fuck it up, for example, like I did just there, you could die. Either or though, it is a very, very solid mix-up. Not one you can use all the time, but if you're trying to like recover aggressively and high, you could try for it. You could also do just directional air dodge in general. I like upwards because it snaps the ledge instantly, at least for me, but pick whatever one you're comfortable with. Next up, I don't think I gotta talk about limit. I might make a full guide just based off of limit. But in general, just one cool thing you could do in neutral against tall characters, you could do up air in neutral like this. You just up air neutral against tall characters. For example, Rob is a tall character, Joker's a tall character. I think you could hit this on Luigi, you could hit this on Joker, you know, stuff like that, right? And you could get, you had to not fast fall it. You can't fast fall it. You literally just had to wait and then do the up air. And then it hits. And then eventually, like if Rob here is at 80% over here, I could just do this. And that will kill. Now obviously, the thing is about this confirm is if you miss it, you're probably gonna get shield grabbed. You could try to spot dodge to avoid a shield grab, but if your positioning is just not there, I just personally recommend max spacing it at like max range, like right about here is probably your best bet. But if it does hit, you get a pressure situation, and that's really effective. Either or, I hope this helps you guys. If you guys do have any questions about the character or want a more in-depth guide about Cloud, please let me know. I think this covers like the general mix-ups that I use in gameplay, because this character may look quote-unquote obvious or bad on paper, but he is seriously amazing. This character is super good when put in the right hands. So anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I hope this helped you. Take care, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you want more content about Smash Ultimate, or if you want me to go over more characters, or maybe just get some VOD review from you guys. But either or, have an amazing day. See you soon.